Hello, this is my RPG that I made. I love how my eyes are open so wide like Luke Skywalker that time. Uh, I put it all in my Algebra 2 folder, and I'm not even sure where to start here. I seem to have a letter from Donabelle's in here from 2009. I still have it. I also have a letter from some bakery people, and oh, the letter from Beverly. Yeah, nice, okay. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. My RPG. Apparently I wrote like a whole entire article called "Why an RPG?" Why? Well, let's find out. To begin with, one must know that RPG is short for role-playing game. How long is this going to take? In an RPG, there's always more than one hero, and they all fight together as a team. In RPGs, the plot is the foundation of the game. Why did I choose to make an RPG rather than any other type of game? Simple. There's more to work with. In making an action game, you can design the hero, the weapons, the bad guys, and the maps. But with an RPG, aside from having 10 times as many weapons as the average action game, there's a story to build a game on. There are several heroes with different personalities to play around with, and the exploration factor, which to me is the determinant of a game's appeal, is a lot larger in an RPG. Giving players an entire world to explore is a lot more satisfying than throwing them into the two-screen prison cell of Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat. It gives them a lot more to work with. Now, granted, the fighting games do have more moves to execute and work with, but the characters are mindless. They have no goal in life besides destroying whoever crosses their path. Certainly, someone out there cares about why he is helping the hero to do whatever he's trying to do, why Rydia joins the team, why you want to get the Earth Crystal from the Dark Elf, why the party visits the land of summoned monsters, why they go to the moon, and all other types of whys about Final Fantasy II, a basic RPG, have quite complicated answers. Some may not even be possible to answer without just playing the game, since every event, oh my god, how long is this, is tied to the ones before and after it. But why Dalsim sets Ken on fire is way beyond me. I guess you don't have to have a good purpose to have a fun video game, but you do have to have a good purpose to have a morally acceptable goal. Then again, morals are not what most people look for in a video game, so I guess that's not something I can change in the world. But morality is not all that drags most action games down to the abyss of unpopularity. In fact, you don't see a lot of straight-up action games anymore. Most action games, if not converted to an overhead view like Super Mario 3, are packed with secret areas to look for. Mega Man 5, Smart Ball, Super Mario World. And most important of all, secret areas. More than one way to go. Soon action games will become extinct. They will get as close to RPGs as they can without actually being RPGs. I have no idea if that even came true. That's how bad this is. Now, if you enjoy the scene in Mega Man 5 where Proto Man almost kills you and then a second Proto Man, the real one, comes in and attacks the fake one, if you enjoy the scene in Super Metroid where the baby Metroid attacks Mother Brain similar to Darth Vader attacking the Emperor, the most dramatic scene in Return of the Jedi, if you enjoy the humorous dialogue that occasionally comes in on your R-Wing intercom as you fly through Criteria and the surrounding... Criteria? and the surrounding world of Star Fox, imagine playing a game where stuff like this happens at every turn. Every little thing you do is accompanied by dialogue. At least you get a little break in the action and the exploration so you can find out what's going on. What's going on is in all caps and underlined. When can you ever find out what's going on in an action game? You never do. The only time you are given a piece of the story is at the beginning in the instructions or before the game begins, then at the very end of the game after you finish it. Nothing in between. What is there to keep you interested in between? Admit it or not, action games get boring after a while. Then again, there are those who don't want a plot or interesting characters. They don't want a big world that has other people to talk to. They want to guide a lonesome hero through a lonesome world to die and rot and no one to help. Wow, let's be a little dramatic anyway. Meeting new characters is always reassuring when you know that they care enough to fight with you. It just makes the game more involving when you can be somebody while you're playing, not just fight monsters and save the world. By the time you kill all those monsters in an action game, you've probably forgotten why you were doing it anyway. But in RPGs, things keep happening and more goals pop up to accomplish. Things happen to you, such as your best friend betraying you, or one of your friends fixing a bad situation just in the nick of time. That's obviously a lot more interesting than just flying to the next country and beating up the next guy, or going from stage 1 to stage 2. That's another thing. Why do they waste time dividing a game into stages? I'll tell you why. Because they're too lazy to tell what happens in between. How does Mad Dog get from an empty parking lot to the superhighway? And how does he get from the shifting sands of the desert to the gross alien-infested interior of Stage 6? If Final Fantasy II were to be divided into stages, there wouldn't be like 10 big stages with a boss at the end of each. There will be like 70 or 80 smaller stages, each with a goal of its own that affects the outcome of the game with its own way, in its own way. And there wouldn't be just a boss at the end of the stage. There could be any of a number of several different things happening after each stage. You might be meeting a new character, dialogue, or re-meeting an old one and talking about what has happened to each of you, dialogue. This affects the outcome of the whole game. But how does defeating the boss of stage 1 affect the outcome of the game? It means you're closer to saving the world. How does defeating the boss of stage 2 affect the outcome of the game? It means you're closer to saving the world. How does defeating the boss of stage 3 affect the outcome of the game? It means you're closer to saving the world. This is the trend of all action games. Just read the goal in the instruction manual, substitute it in place of saving the world, and this is the description of how you're coming along. I mean, come on, doesn't anything else happen to you and your friends besides defeating bosses all the way through? That's gotta get boring after a while. There's gotta be other things to do while you're out there, like stealing the crystal from Mysidia, returning to Baron and getting fired from the Red Wings, going to the Misty Cave, going through the cave, except all he's doing is just rehashing Final Fantasy IV up to this point. Anyway, wow, that's a terrible start. I hope the RPG is better than that was. I'm gonna put that over there. So, this is the story of the RPG. One night, Leon sneaks out to go treasure hunting in the forest behind his mansion. While out, he falls into a hole. He fights some monsters and suddenly runs into a larger monster. Unable to defeat it, Leon falls, waiting for his fate. Just then, the white wizard Zachary, thought to be dead, jumps in and delivers the death blow to the enemy. A white wizard delivering a death blow. Starting out strong here, folks. Leon is the first character used in the game. In his house, he overhears his uncle, father, and father's friend talking about the Arbal curse, Arbil, which is Libra spelled backwards, by the way. The curse of the symmetrical world took effect a year ago, and since then, no one has known how to reach the other half of the world, because on the other side, it's the same as on the first side. Arbal lives on the other side where no one lives. On the real other side, there are people, but until Arbal is defeated, that side will not appear. The three men leave, but suddenly a huge monster breaks into the house, knocking back all three men. They struggle to fight him, but they cannot seem to defeat him. Leon rushes back to his room to grab the light spear Zachary gave him. Wait, so suddenly now we're back to the three guys talking, him and his father and his uncle's friend, or father's friend? The three of them instead are discussing a curse called Arbal. He decides that he'll listen in on the conversation. He hears several things, see paragraph above, but when the huge monster attacks, Leon runs back to his room and grabs the light spear. We know that already, okay. Then Leon comes in and faces the enemy, wielding the energy-rich light spear in both hands, concentrating heavily and jumping into the air, twirling the spear like a baton over his head. Leon comes down directly in front of the large enemy, hurling the spear with tremendous force into the enemy's body and also pumping light energy like a jet into the enemy. The move causes a great deal of damage. It causes the enemy to retreat. Leon retrieves his spear and says he knows of the Arbal curse, and that if the other half of the world is not restored, then the necessary resources there will not be available to this half of the world. Leon's father is too old and weak to continue on the journey, but his father's friend knows of the magical powers that Leon could harness to use against Arbal. He leads Leon to the west town and tells people of Leon's vow to restore the other half of the world to normal. Zachary recognizes you and joins you this time, bringing with him the light weapons he saved you within the cave earlier. In the western town, there are three wizards. One says he'll teach you light if you can find his white amulet that was stolen by Renchor, the darkness monster. Renchor is relatively weak and is hidden in a nearby forest. Upon entering the forest, you hear the voice of the white amulet calling to you. You follow the voice to Renchor and battle him. Upon winning, you not only receive the white amulet, you discover a huge dark orb floating over the remains of Renchor. Not knowing what to do, you leave, suspecting that it may be the spirit of the monster trying to re-attack. When you return to the town, the light wizard thanks you for returning the source of his magic. He teaches you the spell of light. Then you ask him about the orb that was left after Renchor died. The wizard explains to you that the orbs are ways of recharging your magic powers and making them more powerful spells. He explains that it was an orb of darkness, and that it would have made the shadow spell into Burnout, a more powerful spell than many others. He offers you his black amulet's power, which he only releases to you because of the power you would receive from the orb. Otherwise, the risk of misusing the spell would cause terrible damage to the world. So you hurry back to the forest to find the orb missing. Renshore happens to recover with the orb and steal it away. He meets your characters and laughs, saying, "We'll meet again!" He escapes and pulls your magic out of you, using it to darken your surroundings. Now the whole town forest and town northwest of the forest is shrouded in darkness. You go back to the town where people are blaming you for the darkness. You ask the light wizard why your light spell can't bring back the light. Did I mention the light? He tells you that since the Renshore has more power than you, he can use your dark spell plus his orb's power to darken the area. Therefore, in order to light it back up, you'll need to find the power of a light orb. So you leave the town in search of the light orb. On the way south to the town you were sent to, you may have run into a cave in a small mountain where you were ambushed by hordes of enemies bearing spells of fire. Enough experience and you may make it through to the mage inside, who then teaches you the fire spell for saving him. He returns to the town after you tell him about what has happened. With the fire spell, you can burn your way into the pine forest further south. Upon entering, the sharpest monster asks you to leave his domain. You have the option to leave or to fight him. If you choose to fight, he'll say, "Are you sure?" This is your last chance to back out. The sharpest monster is so powerful that unless you've been building experience for several weeks, you'll be sliced to nothing in a matter of seconds, so it is not likely you will explore either of these two areas right away. The town in the southeast sells more powerful armor. Talking to the townsfolk, you learn that there's something spooky going on in this town too. Upon entering one building, you talk to the town mayor, who complains of ice monsters continually attacking the town, about how they had to cut off access to the other half of the town because that side had been entirely destroyed by the ice. Just then, an ice monster crashes into the building. You are forced to fight it. If you were able to steal the fire spell earlier, you will melt this one down before he even gets to attack you. But if you didn't get fire, the light spell will suffice to defeat it. Even your simple attack will usually be enough to win. When the mayor sees your power, he'll open the way to the other part of the town. Exploring there, the cave is sealed. You will be attacked by monsters constantly. Eventually, you'll come upon a small igloo-like building with a wizard inside. His story is as follows. I was going to escape with the rest of the townsfolk when the monsters appeared, but I had to get the orb so it wouldn't be left here with the monsters. The monsters here have still stolen my orb. They took it southwest to a strange town down there. You ask what type of orb it was, and he tells you it was an orb of light. Huh. Convenient. You then explain that the north town has been shrouded in darkness and that you need the light orb to restore normality to the town. The wizard agrees to join you. Together you decide to go to the cave, but before you can get there, an enormous frost monster attacks. The mage steps forward and pulls out his fire bomb, using it to attack the frost monster and thereby defeating it. When you see how powerful the fire bomb is, you know you could very easily save the world using one against Arbal. You ask how many of those he has, and he tells you that that was his last one, but he has a horde of them hidden under the city grounds, and he could gain access to them if he could melt the ice somehow, and the only way he can is to defeat Blue Frost in the cave to the southwest. He then leads you to it and neutralizes the barrier. Inside the cave, the fierce coldness slows you down in battle, and the spells of the enemies are very powerful. This is when the fire spell would really be handy if you hadn't gotten it yet. Let's assume you didn't. With perseverance, you finally make it to the boss, and knowing this boss has far too much power, you hesitate to fight him, but you know that if you had the power of the fire bomb, you could quickly get rid of all the monsters, including Renshore, and save the world from Arbal. I forgot about Renshore, jeez. So you push it to the limit and challenge Blue Frost. Blue Frost is quick to display his power and shows no mercy. Just when it seems all is lost, the mage casts a spell that bewilders Blue Frost. The spell is Rufus. Rufous. The effects are very impressive. The mage claims that he has been saving that for Blue Frost and tells you later that if you hadn't helped him weaken Blue Frost at first, the Rufus wouldn't have entirely destroyed him. But what happened when the Rufus hits Blue Frost is that Blue Frost jumps way into the air on fire, breaking the top of the cave ceiling out. Still on fire, he lands on top of the exact area, luck have it, where the fire bombs were hidden. An enormous explosion ensues, and the bridge collapses. The mage is lost somewhere, but a small portion of land with you on it breaks off just before the remaining continent sinks. You float for a while, finally coasting into the town where the mage said he had lost the crystal orb of light to. Exploring in the town, you find a few wizards. One teaches you the soft spell, which does not oppose loud, but it opposes hard. On the way through the tower, you will find a soft orb to make your soft spell more powerful. You'll need it when you get to the boss. Use the spell 4 times and break his armor, then use the dark or ice spell to finish him off. The monsters in this tower give a lot of experience compared to the ones you've been fighting, so it's not a bad time to stop and build it up. You will receive the hard spell when you defeat the boss, so when the townspeople see that you have acquired it, they will show you to their hard orb, which strengthens your brick spell to ruby. You take the light orb's power, and the trolley carries you over to the other town, where the darkness had just become worse. You use the focus spell, wherever you got that from. But even with the extra help, light is not restored. Entering the town, many are fallen and blinded, but you manage to find the collection of mages there. They tell you that you were gone. While you were gone, Renshore found a third dark crystal. Therefore, you must either defeat Renshore or find the third light crystal. One mage mentions that he saw Renshore going into a cave to the south. Confused, you ask, isn't that the cave of fire? The mages suppose he wants to burn down your village so he can build his own fortress. Just then there is a loud shatter and fire engulfs the whole village. You run out to do battle in the flaming inferno. Renshore is more powerful than ever, combining 3 levels of dark spells with a wind, stick, and fire spell. Stick? Okay. After a long, much drug-out battle, Renshore falls to his fate. The village stops burning, and the darkness goes poof. Light is restored to the village, but the symmetry of the world has not yet even been discussed. End of part 1. Eventually, maybe I'll be able to show you some pictures or something. I don't know. So, I guess part 2 here? The mages congratulate you on your valiant victory. You also receive all the magic that Renshore had acquired, so you now have all the following spells. Light 2, Shadow 3, Fire, Soft 2, Hard 2, Wind, and Stick. The mage then tells you of a long-kept secret spell that he has passed along through the family. The spell is called Balance. He tells you not to be deceived by the effects of it, for it has a hidden effect that you'll discover later on. He arranges a ship that will carry you to Slip Isle, where a fire orb is hidden. As well, you can acquire the Slip spell from a monster in the soapy cave to the northeast of the town. One of the elders in the town tells you of the world being symmetrical, and that if you traverse to the other side, it is the same as the first, only backwards. Also, it is unpopulated. But the real other side is practically non-existent as long as the Arbal curse is retained. If you can defeat Arbal, the world will return to normal. Arbal is hidden in a cave in the far southwest area of the land. You also have heard, since you came to the town, of the dreaded Arrow Castle that flies overhead every 5 years and drops dangerous spouts of wind onto the town, destroying buildings and many people. The castle is due to fly over sometime in the month, so they are opening the underground shelter to prepare for the castle to fly by. Well, it just so happens that the castle comes when you return to the town. Wow, every 5 years. They say that you could find great hidden power inside of the castle if you are brave enough to go to it. Knowing that you need all the magic power you can get, you choose to infiltrate Arrow Castle to search for orbs. In Arrow Castle, you meet a mage being attacked by an earth monster. The earth monster wins, then you come up on him and fight him. The fight is desperate, but you eventually win. You receive an earth spell, which blows out the arrow enemies very quickly. At the end of the castle, you'll battle for a crystal to your wind spell. Also, you receive a crystal for the balance spell, making it into an equal spell. This spell has very little more power in the way of attack than balance did. Still unable to figure the spell out, you leave Arrow Castle, but land on a new island totally unfamiliar to you. Monsters are not very bad on this isle, but there is a series of caves that can wear you out. There is a third light orb and another fire orb hidden inside of the caves. Upon exiting the caves, you find a small town on the northern peninsula of the island. People in the town complain of earth monsters constantly attacking. Remembering how powerful the earth monster was in Arrow Castle, you become fearful. You visit the armor shop to see what they have, and the armor there is very much more powerful than what you had before. Also, the weapons carry wind power, which will make them very effective on the earth monsters. One person tells you there are 2 orbs in the caves to the south, so if you talk to that person and you haven't gotten the orbs, you can go back to get them. One person in the town tells you that the peninsula will depart from the island and they'll be free of the wrath of the cave monsters. Many can't wait for the day. Talking to the mayor, you tell him that you can use the earth spell to make the peninsula depart yourself. One person mentions that he heard that magic would be part of the miracle. They assume you must be the one who is destined to bring about the miracle. So you travel to the edge of town and use the earth spell. The ground shakes and then it splits. The peninsula floats off and crashes into a nearby continent. On the new continent, there is another town and a large castle. The castle is empty except for a person at the top who tells you that there is an airship hidden in the castle and that he can't get to it because it is sealed by the earth monsters. So he offers to you his wind orb to help you fight the earth monsters. You leave for the western town and they tell of an underground passage that leads to the other half of the town, which is destroyed by earth monsters. These earth monsters, I tell you. You traverse the underground to the other side and find nothing in the ruins, although you might get lucky and find the elusive balance orb hidden there, which makes your equal spell into a scale spell. When you use this spell, it causes weak enemies to sometimes collide. The effects are interesting, but still not as powerful as the level 3 spells usually are. In the Earth Cave, you find the Wind spell very powerful and useful in there. After defeating the boss there, you acquire an Earth Orb, making your Earth spell into Roots, which stops enemies for a short while. You leave the cave, and upon exiting, an earthquake ensues. The ground splits, and you just hang on for dear life. The earth monster, which grows to an enormous size, oh, we're almost to the end here, and approaches you, preparing to attack. Just when all seems lost, the airship comes flying down, dropping a bomb on the earth monster and saving you from the quake. After a short conversation, you are left with the airship to fly anywhere. He says he found a loud orb, so you can revisit him in the Earth Town when you get the loud spell. Spells you now have: Light 3, Shadow 3, Soft 2, Hard 2, Balance 3, Earth 2, Fire 3, Wind 3, Stick 1, Slip 1. Okay. And then I have a list of things to do with the airship, which is like go to the minuscule and max towers and get the small and large spells. Also, you can get the small and large orbs on the way out. A stick spell orb is hidden in the small tower, and a slip orb in the large tower. Arbal is in the this shaped island on the other side. That's what the island is shaped like that Arbal lives on. I want you to be able to see it, yeah. When you go into the caves on that island, you will fight Arbal and defeat him. Then when you leave, the world will be back to normal again. The question is, what is in the corresponding cave on the first side? Maybe a statue of Arbal, huh? Yeah, because like I guess there would be two of them if the world is mirrored. I don't know if I ever figured out that part. In the far southern country, you will explore a cave that has some quite unusual looking monsters. The warped visions of some familiar monsters may be identifiable, but many monsters will be new to you. There's nothing in the cave that will affect the outcome of the game, but the gold you receive from these monsters will surely come in handy when you see how expensive the armor is on the real other side of the world. So Arbal is not the final boss, then? I thought he was. Wow. So this is my list of, like, all the weapons. We have swords. There are 5 swords, and, like, first sword wooden, second sword lead, third wind sword, light sword, and then diamond sword. Yeah. And then this is whips. There are 3 whips. Leather whip, flame whip, and light whip. Okay. Fury whip, the secret one. Oh my god. Oh, 4 times experience? Okay. I'm down for that. Special rare weapons: grenade, attack power 500. Gas bomb will clear out any group of enemies. Halo, when thrown, it hovers over enemies, emitting green light on them. The effect on each enemy is random. Jeez. Okay. Boomerangs. There are 3 types of boomerangs. Wooden blitz boomerang. That sounds cool. Return boomerang. But all boomerangs return. What's so special about a return boomerang? I'll tell you what's special about it. When you throw it out, attack power on throw 30 times return 4 something. Oh, okay. I guess. Maces. We have glass mace, windy mace, and ultra mace. Huh. Axes. Steel axe, great axe, shocker, chaos axe, quantum axe. Jeez. All right. Flamethrowers. We have the blazer, arson. Huh. Okay. And then ice sprayers. Wow, I tell you. I'm not gonna sit here and read these out if you can see what it says already. Spears, iron, flame, dragon, diamond, yeah. Oh, rune. Oh, sweet. Okay. That's like the secret one. Okay. Yeah, so this is the spells. Each spell has like 4 levels, and when you get an orb, it increases the level of the spell. So you start with soft, and it goes to fibrous, lint, and then downy. Yeah, the attack power on these is not very big, though. Soft white explode. Oh, I'm like designing what the spell's gonna look like, I guess. Downy pours into beaker that wow, dude. Product placement much? It's hard to read this because it's in pencil and I wrote it like 30 years ago. Hard spell, purpose to kill them quickly. Here's ruby, the second level, then enamel, and of course diamond. And there's the effects of all the different levels of that. Huh. Interesting. I don't know if I played Secret of Mana before or after doing this, so I don't know. If soil sometimes distracts them. Roots, mud, quake. Okay, so quake, obviously the biggest earth spell. Why make him dirty when you can just, swallow him up for good? Yeah, really. Oh, of course, it looks like the Final Fantasy IV quake. Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. I was so into this, I tell you. There's the wind spell. Wind goes to gale, and then cyclone, and then Boreas. Okay, that's pretty badass right there. Very powerful 3-hit attack. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Then we have fire, burn, flare. Oh, Rufus is like the fire spell. Okay. I must have been like looking up some, I don't know, some mythology or something, because I don't know what Rufus even is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it means fire. Then we got water. Thank God he's writing with a pen here. Ice, temporary freeze. Frost, longer, but still temporary freeze. And hail, the best one. Yeah. I didn't draw any effects for these. The large spell. Purpose, a huge enemy will crush little ones in the area if he grows too large. Yeah. Large, great. Exceed. And burst. Oh. Use against small enemies to make them easier targets. If you think an enemy's already big, then try this and pop him. Wow. Okay, we got Shadow, Attack Only, Burnout, Night, Black Hole. Alright. Then we have Light, may blind him, but not a bad attack spell. Focus, Solar, and Aurora. Nice. There is a boss that if you make him run away, he'll come back later. A nice time for a character to rejoin one of two ways. I'm not sure what that means, but Stick, what does that one do? Keeps the weak ones from running away. Oh, Slime, Paste, and Vicious. I don't know. Something like that. And Slip, purpose to watch. Attack's not worth it. Your enemy trips over his own feet. That's it. Soapy. Purpose, what a ripoff. A level 2 spell with an attack power of 20. Perhaps you'll find an enemy who hates soap. Secret, the second last enemy cannot stand this spell. Oh. Ignore the last 2 orbs and keep this spell and use it on him. Ooh, that's interesting. So if you don't level up a spell, it works really well on a certain specific enemy. I don't know, I kind of like that. Thin Ice and Greasy. Of course, Greasy. Ugh. Oh, Greasy has like synergy with fire too. Interesting. Huh, okay. We have Loud, purpose to make them less alert or confuse them. Nice. Volume, audio, and raucous. That word. Redo. Mute, calm, still, and tranquil. Okay. So I don't know. I guess I wasn't happy with whatever that was. And there's balance. Your first reaction may be, I don't get it. We'll put it anyway. You will need it. And then equal goes up to scale. And then Libra is the final version. So my idea for this spell, I came up with this later. I don't think I wrote it down, but my idea for the balance spell was going to be that the game wouldn't explain to you what it did. But what it would do is just average all the HP of all the enemies and put it all together. So if you were fighting like an enemy that had 100 HP and another enemy that had 200 HP and you used the balance spell, they would just be, their HP would be changed so they both had 150. Now the big secret to why this spell would work on the final boss is because the final boss would have like an impossibly huge level of HP, and the only way to beat him would be to use that spell. And his cronies, who each had like 10,000 HP or something, you would use it and it would average his HP with theirs. There would probably be a way for him to resist it so it didn't actually average it, but maybe the most HP it could take off at a time is like 100,000 or something. But you could do that repeatedly to get him down to like 100,000 and then you could beat him. And that's why the balance spell would work on him. So that was my idea, or is my idea, I guess. Sharp, acute, scrape, and scythe. And, oh, yeah, definitely. Castlevania. Virus, germ, infect, venom. Crud, we were so close to venom. I had these ideas for the spell animation, It's kind of cool. And we have shock, lightning, charge, and field. Okay. Oh, and here's my level chart. How much HP you have at each level, how much MP you have at each level, and experience needed for next level. Wow, look at that. Jeez. I was pretty obsessed, I guess. Oh, there it goes. It goes even further than that. Yeah, man, I tell you. Man, I had this all mapped out. Oh my god. 61 to... Does it go all the way up to 99? I wonder. Oh my god, it goes over 100. Holy crap. Did I have like a calculator and I like... Oh man. Or did I just make up these numbers? How high can your level go? It looks like it finally stops at 135, but jeez. MP gets to 1000. I wonder if there's a pattern to this. I don't know. It looks like 10 MP for each level at this point, but man, I tell you. These are some maps of like places. You could use the sharp spell to get whatever that is in there. Yeah, these are just maps. Balance orb. Slippery. Heroes use stick automatically. Have to fight spider sideways. Crack saved by mage from ice country exit. Huh. Here's some more maps right here. Must find switch to make stairs climbable. Use water. Duh. Use small. Cute. Alright. There's a cave there. I mean, this is definitely kind of inspired by Willow a little bit, it seems like. Water monster attacks from behind. You get up here. Arbal. Okay, great. Man, these map screens, I tell you. What's that all about? I can't even read most of this. I don't know. Even with my glasses, I can't read it. This opens up after you defeat the boss. Yeah, I mean, it's just maps, really, and not a whole lot to really look at. Jeez. Forest, the other half of the world. Oh, is this like the overworld? Man. Cave with switches. Hidden. Arbal. Forest with a town hidden. Wow. How Zelda 2 is that? Hidden continent. Nice. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, this was like... Oh, man. Yeah. I don't even know what to say to this. Holy jeez. There's that continent again. No orbs but high gold. Balance orb, wind orb, earth spell. Jeez. Dude. I wonder if anybody would ever actually be able to make this just based on what's in this video here. I don't know. All of the water, man. Just the water. Because, like, if I was making the mirrored half of the world, then it would be just basically the same. So, I don't know. It's interesting, though. There's another map. Mount Audio. Wow. Has there been an RPG with a Mount Audio in it? Well, there is now. Maybe. More monsters. I tell you. It's crazy to think of, like, God, man, how much work went into this. Fourth audio orb, I guess. Oh my god. Okay, so here it is. Here's the original. There's the original Arbal right there. It's not that impressive after all the times I talked him up, but the enemy of imbalance. He makes the world symmetrical and hides. Only the balance spell can do big damage. However, it's possible to defeat him without it. Yeah, that's the thing. It would be possible to defeat him without it. And then I just have like a bunch of random monster designs. Most of these are, I don't know, pretty cringy. It's nothing you haven't seen before. But then again, I think at this point, almost any monster that's ever been designed has never been seen. These are like different poses for him to cast different spells. Like he can cast rockets on you or lightning, yeah. And black hole, yeah. I tell you. I forgot all these. And then there's like this one. I don't know, Quake. Arbal strategies, soft will, soften his armor. Okay, I don't want to read all this, but yeah. If you have Libra, by all means use it. The spell is very effective against Arbal. I already explained why that is. Oh my god, there's even more. He's got solar and gale. Jeez. What does that mean? Arbal, when attacked by solar, counters with gale. Oh, I see. There's him praying because, you know, they got to do that. Aurora. Then Diamond. It's weird to see him, like, sort of smiling. Jeez. After 30 years of thinking he just, that one pose. What? Features of a monster. Wow. Quake. Different, like, claws and stuff. What the heck is that? That should be the final boss right there. Shit, that's terrifying. Oh my god, he's got, like, lizard legs, sort of a turtle shell, and then, like, mech arms, and then fire for a head, with corks coming out of his ears. Wind monsters. Oh, yeah, I guess I had them all, like, mapped out what elements they would be. Jeez Louise, man. These are some weird-looking dudes, I tell you. Of course there's gonna be one of those. Urbit. Man, I gave some of them names, too. Good lord. Slip Ivory. Oh my god. This is ridiculous, man. Oh, Boomer. Yeah, sure. Passia. Oh, Sharp. Kind of it. Burrito. Oh, I kind of like that one. That one's kind of cool looking. Oh, three-headed, you know, statue. Some of these I just... Oh, nice. Okay. Big top. Oh. So I guess these are like slip monsters? I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Karachi. That's just Ridley, dude. What the heck? Of course, Ridley kind of didn't exist back when I did this. Well, he kind of does now. I mean, he was in Super Metroid, so yeah. And it is pretty similar. Final boss in the game. Oh, this is the final boss? Wait, what? Cutting down the size with small to 1/4 the size, then his HPs will go down from 10,000 to 25. That's still a lot, though. Oh. Man. I tell you. Oh my god, what's that? Okay, so we got Quaker, we got Inferno, we got Blue Frost. Oh man, I didn't picture him as looking like that. Oh, oh, okay, so we have this guy, and then like if you do a certain thing to him, that's his reaction to it when he loses arms or something. I don't know. There's another. There's that guy again. Just make the head bigger. Yeah, definitely. Is that guy again? My god, dude. How much more of this is there? Oh, this is the last pit. No, there's 2 more pages. So we got 3-headed monstrosity there. We got... Man. I tell you. Oh, and there's a small spell. Okay, so I never got small, micro, minute, disappear. So that's my RPG, man. I tell you what. I'm just going to go ahead and stop this because I don't know how long this video is going to be or how long it's going to take to move it to my computer, but yeah, that's my RPG. So I never came up with a title for it, so I don't know. See you later.